everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I know it's been a little while since I last uploaded on this channel. A lot of things have been going on over the past couple of months, but this year I kind of made a bit of a resolution to myself that I would try and upload a little bit more frequently again like I used to, and to try and not let other things sort of get in the way of myself uploading to YouTube, because I love uploading videos and it's just finding the time to sort of edit them and things like that. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and start uploading more for you. So this video is a Q&A, and this is the first Q&A that I've done on my channel. I decided that I would ask some of you guys over on Instagram a few questions, and basically just to leave any questions that you might have for me in the comment section on one of my previous posts a few days ago. And yeah, Instagram's my most interactive platform, so it kind of seemed best to ask you guys over there what you want to ask me. So I've been through the comments under the post and I've written them down in this book, so I'm just going to read through the questions and answering them. Some of them are more detailed than others, but yeah, I just thought it might help you get to know me a little bit more. I did say to you guys that if I picked your question, I would have your Instagram handle on the screen somewhere at the bottom, and also there's going to be a link to follow the description of their handles down below in the description box. If you want to give the accounts a follow that I've picked the questions from, who wrote them, then you can go and give those guys a follow on Instagram as well. Okay, so the first question, I'm not going to read I'm not going to read the handle names because some of them I'm not sure how to pronounce, but I'll just leave them on the screen here and you can follow those guys at the bottom. But the first question I picked out was, how old are you and when is your birthday? So I'm 20 years old at the moment. My birthday is 3rd of March, so I'm going to be 21 really soon. What was the hardest thing that you've ever experienced in your career? For me personally, I would say the hardest thing about being a blogger in this career is rejection, because there's so much competition and it's really hard to sort of stand out against everyone else. But if you kind of persevere and you just keep thinking of ways to make your content better and stand out, you've got more of a chance of being picked for paid work and collaborations and just more exciting projects, rather than the smaller blogger stuff which doesn't really get you noticed, because certain collaborations, they don't really give the blogger much of a benefit, if that makes sense. So a lot of them are free gifting and things like that, but if you want to kind of stand out, you want to aim to work with the bigger companies that either want to work with you on a long-term campaign or offer some sort of credibility or something like that. It's just little ways for the blogger to get their name out there in different ways, and with smaller campaigns it can be harder sometimes to find an audience reach through a smaller brand if they don't have much of a following themselves. But yeah, I would say that the challenge really is rejection and standing out, because there are just so many people doing this sort of thing now, and it's really, really difficult to just be the only one that people want to look for or look at their stuff. There's so many people joining the blogging and the creator industry, so yeah, it's becoming tougher every day. But you've got to have a passion for whatever you do in this sort of side of things. It's very creative, and if you don't enjoy it, you're never going to succeed. So even though it is difficult, my passion and my ability to be able to sit down and be okay, well, this isn't easy, but I still want to do it, that obviously means that I'm supposed to do it. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. So no matter how hard it is, you've just got to keep going. So whatever the challenges arise, you've just got to stand out and just be confident, be you, find your own unique way to do things, and just, yeah, hopefully you'll overcome those challenges if you're in the industry like me and you're having the same problems. What's your favourite thing about being a vlogger? My favourite thing about being a blogger is being able to work with brands. And I know that's a very standard answer, but it is, because certain brands in particular, you get to build relationships with people behind the brand, you get to meet them, you understand the brand, you get to work with them and be a part of the brand. And also, again, opening doors for yourself, meeting new people, wider opportunities, and just growing as a blogger in the industry. And being a vlogger, I have vlogged a little bit over on my other channel, but that's another thing I need to pick up on a little bit more and sort of maybe film a little bit more. And I was less confident vlogging in public, but maybe I should sort of try and do that a bit more. But I guess vlogging sort of counts as this as well, because people do sit down videos and refer to themselves as vloggers. I always considered it being like moving around, showing people your day, that sort of thing. But yeah, like I suppose this is vlogging as well. So if we're like including this sort of video as a vlog, then the best thing about this is interacting with the audience and finding out what they want to watch, what they like, what they dislike. Again, it has the opportunity to build new friendships and relationships and connect with people who are on the same wavelength as you and enjoy the same things as you, and it can be very rewarding as well if you stick at it. So yeah, there are definitely a lot of perks to being a vlogger and a lot of positive things as well as negative. I mean, everything has a positive and negative side, but yeah, I would definitely say blogging is a very social career, and it's amazing at building a network of people. What's your best memory of being a blogger? My best memory of being a blogger, it was actually a bit of a milestone and a bit of a happy moment for me. It was the first event that I attended, and that was at the end of last year. It was in November, I think, late November, and it was with a company who I filmed a video for, who I've written blog posts for, and I finally got to meet them in person. And it was just a little bit of a milestone for me, because a lot of bloggers aspire to get to the point where they're actually physically meeting people behind the brands and getting to work closely with them. If you're in the sort of industry that I'm in, which is obviously writing about fashion, beauty and other sort of topics as well, you kind of want to get to the point where you're interested in working with them and you want them so that you also support them. So for me, being invited to an event and actually being able to attend is kind of like I'd reached the next step, or I made an achievement in my career. Even though I'm still very small as a blogger, I feel like that was a really proud moment for me to be able to say, if I hadn't been blogging, if I hadn't started to write about content, to write about products, services, brands, the things I like, so fashion, beauty, all that sort of thing, if I'd have never decided to do that and make my website and everything, I would not be sat here. And that brand has opened doors for me, and I hope in return that I can help them in the future. And yeah, it's just ongoing long-term partnerships where you just sort of check in with each other now and then and just sort of see how you can help. But yeah, that is the best memory about being a blogger. We went to this space in London. It was called the 8 Club. It was really lovely, like interior, and we just sat down, we had like some dinner, and we just sort of had a drink and just sort of talked about the brand and the direction of the brand, the people behind the brand, and the story and everything, and obviously the work that we'd done for them before and future work. It was just all very quite businessy. It was like a business meeting but in a casual setting, and it was just very friendly, very welcoming, and it was just everything I hoped it would be. And it just kind of symbolises that I'm on the right track as a blogger and I must be doing something right. So it was a very good achievement. The best holiday you've been on, what made it the best? Would you go again? What would you do differently? Okay, so this one's a bit of a funny one. The best holiday I've ever been on is to Orlando, Florida. I think I've been about 4 or 5 times now, but yeah, it's just amazing. I just love the heat, I love the Disney parks, Universal, even the Harry Potter bit they've got there now. It was just incredible. I saw the new Avatar bit in Animal Kingdom. It was just the most amazing holiday, and the last time I was there was last summer, and I was there for about 3 weeks, so that was amazing. What makes it the best? It's just like a magical place. Like, everyone's so happy and you just can't replicate that anywhere else. Disney itself is just amazing, but to actually go to the one in Florida, it is another world of its own, and it's the only place where I felt that happy when you go on holiday. There's just something about it. So yeah, I really love going to Orlando, Florida. I would definitely go again because I've been like so many times already, and I would go like forever. I would go every year if I could, but can't afford it. But yeah, I would definitely go again. And what would I do differently? Well, when I was there last time, I got burnt really badly. I was sat by the pool for too long and I didn't top up my sunscreen, which is really naughty. But yeah, that's the worst I've ever been burnt. Like honestly, my whole legs were like raw red. They were peeling, like it was disgusting, it was terrible. It's funny I look back on it now, but at the time I was in so much pain, so what would I do differently? Top up your sunscreen. What inspired you to start a YouTube channel? I think the first person that I ever watched on YouTube was Casey Holmes, and she is an American vlogger from Georgia. She does beauty videos, and she also does like, I'm not sure if they're daily vlogs, but she does do a lot of vlogs, and they're just sort of like follow me around vlogs, and just like it gives you an insight into her life in general, and she's just a really interesting person to watch. Yeah, she kind of sparked my interest in the beauty videos, especially with her like makeup tutorials and stuff. But yeah, she was the first person that actually inspired me to make a channel. Yeah, but since then my channel's kind of adapted into its own thing, and that was a long time ago. This was about 4 or 5 years ago I used to watch her. I don't really watch her anymore, but yeah, she was the first person that made me want to create my own like active channel. When was the last time that you did something for the first time? The last time I did something for the first time was recently, and yeah, I fell in love. So yeah, that was a first time thing for me, and it wasn't that long ago. And yeah, it was just sort of something that I wasn't expecting, but it just sort of happened very quickly. And yeah, I don't know what more to say. Where do you take inspiration from for your clothing style? Most of my inspiration for clothing, I'm not gonna lie, it comes from Instagram. I think a lot of bloggers will have the same answer. It's either Instagram or Pinterest. I do occasionally search like certain outfit ideas on Pinterest, because sometimes you do find really good inspiration on there. But if you want to actually follow a person and get like continuous style updates, there are a number of people that I follow. Let me get my phone and I'll read a few out. Okay, so a couple of people that I really like to follow for style. There's a German blogger called Anna Johnson. I'll link all these like profiles down below for you guys in case any of you want to follow them as well. Just scrolling through to see what my favourite ones are. I'm not sure how you pronounce this name. I think it's Cindy Crow. Yeah, her feed is just like awesome. I don't know if you can see very well. Her feed is just insane. Like, it's just so good. All her clothing, style, it's just amazing. Like, she's got some really nice style advice in there, and just all of her products are just amazing. And I just love her feed. Like, it's so creative, and all the colours she uses are just like so me. So yeah, I'm a little bit obsessed with her feed. Another person I used to follow, I don't really follow them so much anymore, but that was Fashion in Flux. She's kind of got a good vibe going on, because she's changed her like style of her feed quite a lot, but yeah, it still looks pretty good. So yeah, if you want to give her a follow, I'll leave her down below. Another favourite of mine is Sophie Milner. She's known as Fashion Slave. She's got her own website and everything. She's a really cool blogger as well. Getting good vibes off of her. Yeah, I just pretty much follow different people for different reasons, not gonna lie. Yeah, they're like the top ones I can think of right now. But yeah, there are lots of people that I like and follow on Instagram just because I like their content. So yeah, it's just all inspiration. But some challenges that you face. I think people can be a challenge that I face personally. I am a social person, and obviously I have to be because of what I do, but I kind of need that like security around me, and when things change I don't deal with that very well. Like personally, like I can adapt, but I'm not necessarily happy about it. So I don't know, I get quite attached to people and attached to things. It's not a bad thing, just kind of shows that I care about people, but it can be a bad thing if things have to change and you don't really have a choice in that. But yeah, it's just sort of a challenge that I've faced recently. You know, it can be a bad thing I suppose sometimes, but Yeah, because in life there isn't always a happy outcome. Yeah, so just sort of change occurring when you don't want it to. That can be a bit of a challenge that I face, but then again, I'm kind of like contradicting myself because I am open to change. It's just, I don't know, I'm a bit picky about what I want to change, if that makes sense. What are your favourite fashion and beauty brands? Okay, clothing is easy. Number 1 is New Look, 2 Topshop, and Time with Miss Selfridge. I love those places. And then if I'm feeling a bit adventurous, I will probably go to somewhere like, oh, what's it called? I'm thinking of another brand. No, that's not it. Nobody's Child. I quite like them. I don't really shop on places like Misguided or anything like that. I do Primark sometimes. Yeah, like I say, those are like my top 4 or 5 that I go to. Beauty brands, my favourites are MAC, Estee Lauder, NYX Cosmetics, Morphe brushes. What else have we got over there? Gerard Cosmetics, L'Oreal Paris, Rimmel London, all those sorts of brands. So yeah, there's a lot of brands that I like and that I go back to frequently. And with me, when I find a brand that I like, I tend to get a lot of things from there. So pretty much my whole like stash of clothing and makeup is from those brands. How do you motivate yourself to take pictures and upload when you're having a down day? I would say when you're having a down day, you have to remember what you're doing all of this for. If you're doing it as a hobby, it can be easier to just sort of slip out of things and let things go and then eventually not do it anymore if you're not getting that much pleasure out of it and you're having more down days than good. But you've just got to remember why you're doing it and why it makes you happy, and only do it if it does make you happy. Don't do it for the wrong reasons. Yeah, that should motivate you to do it, and it can be a bit miserable at this time of year, so maybe you don't want to go outside and take like photos or whatever. You can sort of do them inside, get yourself a ring light or a lamp like what I've got now. It's a studio light, so it allows you to film at night time and it's nice and bright, so you don't have to sort of do things outside if you don't want to, or during the daytime if you don't have time. Yeah, just to stay motivated really, just be happy, think positive, maybe plan your content before you post, because that's what I do. I use a few apps to do that. If you guys want to know some sort of Instagram things that I use, like apps for editing, planning, posting, all that sort of thing, let me know in the comments and I'll consider doing an Instagram related video, because I feel like that's quite a big topic and I don't really want to talk about that now. But yeah, I don't know, I think to stay motivated you have to have that sort of passion within you, and you've got to want to go somewhere with it. So yeah, I see the bigger picture, and I see that if you keep at it, you have consistent content and it's okay, like it's good, people like it, you can improve on it, you can interact with people, and that should be motivation enough to just keep going, just to see what opportunities you have, and just to improve, if nothing more, just to improve your own skills. So yeah, that is where I get my motivation from. And sometimes it doesn't hurt as well to take a break from Instagram, because it can have its like toll on people, especially when, like, not necessarily that you spend a lot of time on social media, but you feel the pressure to keep up with social expectations of being a blogger and post daily, or maybe twice or 3 times a day. I know some people do. I only post it once because I feel that that's enough, and it's just too time consuming, like posting multiple times a day. I don't want to live my life on social media. I know my occupation is partially on there, but I don't want to be on there all that time, because personally I want to live in the real world, and I understand that it is sort of, to a good degree, it is partially real because it's real people blogging behind those pictures, but it's just too time consuming. And for family, for friends, just to do normal things without worrying about what the life online is saying. So yeah, it can be a real headache sometimes. That's kind of one of the downsides to blogging, is knowing when to say that's enough. Yeah, so I've been quite strict with how much time I'm spending on there, and recently I've been allowing myself days at a time off of social media to just sort of not even upload, just to sort of take a breather and do things that matter in my personal life. So yeah, it's just finding the balance. what or who inspires you in your blog posts? So this is a kind of similar answer to the other one I just gave, but some of the followers, and not followers, some of those Instagrammers I told you about before, they kind of inspire me to keep pushing my content, making it more creative, making my editing better, using new locations to shoot at, getting a bit more confidence at doing it in public. Yeah, it just kind of makes the posts better, I guess, and they kind of become unique the more you step out of your shell. So it's something I'm working on, but it is definitely something that will pay off in the long run. What's your favourite go-to foundation? That is by far the Double Wear foundation by Estee Lauder. I am obsessed with that foundation, and I've used it in pretty much every makeup tutorial that I've done since I've had it. So yeah, if you check out my previous videos, it's either going to be that one or one of the ones, I forget what it's called, I think it's a MAC Cosmetics one. So yeah, them two are my favourites, but the Estee Lauder just has that edge. What's your favourite advice to give to people? This sounds kind of like a teaching, I suppose, but just be nice, be considerate of other people. Don't preach things that you cannot follow through yourself or that you do not do yourself. Don't have a big ego. Definitely don't have one rule for you and one rule for other people. Consider what things are like from someone else's point of view before considering your own, because that way most arguments can be avoided, or disagreements or hurt can be avoided. Definitely both people should be agreeing on something, like it should be a discussion, not a one-way thing. Yeah, and just to be open to apologising and knowing when you're wrong. I hate it when people can't say sorry. That really winds me up when they're in the wrong. It's just, yeah, it's that mutual respect, and I just don't think a lot of people have it now. I mean, I'm including my own generation in that, but I'm just saying that I think people could be a lot kinder to each other. Yeah, and I just think it's a very selfish world that we live in, but just be kind and maybe don't act so rationally, and don't have what I call an ugly soul. It's a bit forward, but it's what I call it. What job did you do before blogging? How did that help transition into blogging part-time, and how do you keep on the top of everything? So before blogging, I used to work in retail. I used to work for a fashion company called New Look, which is one of my favourite clothing stores to go to. How did that transition into blogging? Basically, I would be working, and you know, you get like the gallery images around the walls, like showing off new clothing. I would be so interested in like what was upcoming, and just like the photo shoots and everything on the wall. I would be inspired by the photography and the style and everything. So I think that's kind of like where partially my inspiration comes from at work. So that's how that helped me get into this. But also I took inspiration from other creators as well. So it was just kind of like everyday life stuff kind of inspired me, and I've always been kind of creative anyway. So doing something unusual was definitely on the right track for me. And how do you keep on top of everything? I schedule everything in a calendar or diary, and I use, like I said, apps to plan my content before it goes up. And on my blog posts, I always write them out and then just save them in a draft, and then I will just sort of pick one that sort of I think will space things out a little bit. So for example, I might do one post on fashion, the next one on beauty, the next one on a recipe, just to sort of space it out and make it more consistent on my site. The last one I did was home decor, and that's a new topic on my website, so I'm just trying to like block things off a little bit and make it a bit more like, oh, what's next? So yeah, that's kind of like how I plan it out and fit time. I tend to do that like planning of a weekend, and then the rest of the week, that is when I upload things and then when they're all done. And occasionally when I get spare time, I'll do things like this. So it's Friday today, and I'll just sort of sit here and film, and then this will go up like within the next few days. So it's just sort of like fitting it in as it's unexpected, but when you get the time, and then pre-planning for like short uploads. Like, you know, you've just got to figure out a routine around your own schedule. How long have you been blogging? I started blogging, I was still at New Look, but I left not long afterwards. I think it was in January 2016. So yeah, it has been a while now, about 2 years, something like that. And since then I can tell from my own content how far it's come, but it has a very, very long way to go still. Like, I'm my own worst critic, but it has got a long way to go, and until I'm up there with the likes of Lydia Millen and, I don't want to say Zoella because that's very adventurous, but no dream is too big, so why not Zoella, then I'm going to keep going. So yeah, I just want to be proud of my content. I don't want to copy anyone else. I don't want to like tread on anyone's toes. I just want to be myself. I want to have the success that they found, but they found that by hard work. It hasn't come to them through like accident or just luck. It is hard work, and that is what I've been putting in. I'm going to continue to do that. What did your friends and family say when you all started blogging? To be honest with you, when I tell people that I blog, they don't say much. I don't think a lot of people fully understand what it is. I think more girls than guys understand the term blogging in the terms of social media and content creating. Especially in the industry that I'm talking about, so fashion and beauty. But I also talk about things like travel, health and fitness, lifestyle, life advice, recipes. It's not just that. I've even started talking about relationships and advice on my blog. I've done one post so far on that, and home decor, like I mentioned. So it's not just that anymore, but those are my niche topics that I do tend to share about. But yeah, I don't know, that my family was supportive, and other people just sort of, they follow my pages and stuff. Some people do. Other people tend to just sort of ask me how it's going time to time. It's just sort of one of those things where I haven't found major success with it yet. I mean, I've worked with a lot of people, but the numbers are still quite low, so I guess people are just sort of wondering when that's going to pick up, or if I'm going to give it up. But that would be a no. I'm not going to give it up. Yeah, I'm just going to keep going with it, and like I said, hopefully it will pay off in the long run. So I think it's what they're yet to say, which is going to be quite surprising, but I know who's been there for me since the beginning, so that's all that matters. There's this big kind of aura, bubble around blogging that kind of says that if you do it full time or part time, it's not a proper job. And it has the potential to be a proper job, and let me tell you, it's hard work. It's not as easy as it looks. People don't believe me when I say it, but that's just because you don't understand it. Sometimes I kind of feel like people look down on me a little bit for doing it. They kind of judge maybe that I don't have a 9-to-5 job, and I've been there and I've done that, and yeah, it's possible I'm going to have to do that part-time to sort of continue doing this and sort of getting more money, and at the same time it's possible. But to me, this is the dream job, and nobody like ever stood out by doing what everyone else did and then have them knock their confidence and say, well, I'm going to give it up then, because those people don't know me like I know myself. And they may think it's irresponsible to blog, or they may think it's not a job, or they may think it's stupid, or they may just think it's very irrational. But a lot of other people will be on the other end of the spectrum, and they sort of congratulate you for being different, for standing out, for taking the risk, and for doing something that you want to talk about and that you have a passion about. So yeah, it really does depend on the kind of person that you meet. But yeah, if you're in my position and you've ever had to explain to anyone what you do, and they kind of look at you as if to say that's not a proper job, or they make you feel small, my advice would be to you is just feel sorry for them, because they have no capacity to mentally understand what you're saying to them. And it doesn't matter what they think, because at the end of the day, it's not their life, it's yours. You will do what you feel is necessary, and if you want to get to the top, then you will. So you don't need them or their approval. And it is dog eat dog out there. I mean, you don't have to be mean about it, but it's just very constructive criticism. Like, do not let other people knock you down, because you don't want them to be the reason why you're not doing what you want to do. And who knows, if I keep at it, then there is a possibility that I will get where I want to be with this. But if I give up because of the people in the past that have made me feel small, or people in the past that have made me feel like I need to get a proper job, you know, and just give it up completely, then, you know, who's winning here? No one's really winning, and they're just sort of getting a laugh out of things that are different. But I don't really care anymore. Like, if someone doesn't approve of this, well, they don't have to watch, or they don't have to read what I'm writing, and I don't have to tell them about things that are coming up. I just don't have to mention it. So yeah, just do you and don't let anyone else manipulate your future. What are your favourite staple pieces? I'm guessing this means like in the wardrobe. So for winter, black turtleneck jumpers, you've got to have your basic jeans going on, your blues, your blacks. You've got to have your winter boots, little side handbags, love those because they go with everything. My little Jasper Conran bag that I've showed you in many a video, love that all year round, summer and winter. It's just the perfect size and it goes with everything. And then for summer, little tea dresses. Another one I forgot to mention for winter, the teddy fluffy coats. Oh my god, I've been spamming that on my Instagram, but it's just so nice. Yeah, summer, just like the mini dresses as well. I don't know, I just love these staple little items, and oh, there's just so many, but I'm more in winter mode right now. So yeah, I'm thinking thick knitwear, fluffy knitwear, all sorts of cozy things. So yeah, I suppose you could even like winterize a tea dress if you wanted to, with tights and boots. But yeah, mine are quite florally and summery, so you can't really do that too much with them. But if you've got one that it will look alright with, then go for it. What's your sign? My star sign is Pisces. So that's the sign of the fish, and I'm actually going to Google now the traits for you guys. Okay, so I've Googled what the typical Pisces is like. Pisces are selfless. They are always willing to help others without hoping to get anything back. Pisces is a water sign characterised by empathy and expressed emotional capacity. The ruling planet is Neptune, so Pisces are more intuitive than others and have an artistic talent. I might actually go onto a website, I might tell you a bit more. Okay, so it says the Pisces strengths are compassion, art, they're intuitive, they're gentle, wise and musical, and their weaknesses are fearful, overly trusting, easily sad, they desire to escape reality, they can be a victim. Pisces like being alone, sleeping, music, romance, visual media, swimming and spiritual themes. Pisces dislike know-it-alls, being criticised. I'm getting better at that. I'm actually not too bad at being criticised if it's coming from a good place, if you're not just being rude. Yeah, I can take criticism if it's going to help me. The past coming back to haunt you. Cruelty of any kind. So that's again what I was saying, just be nice. Yeah. I mean, you can search about signs anyway and read a lot more about that, but yeah, that's just the basics about being a Pisces, so that's me. So they are all the questions I'm going to be answering today. Thank you so much for taking part. If you do comment a question on my Instagram post, give me a thumbs up if you liked it and if you saw your name on the screen, or if you're in the description box below. Don't forget to go and check out those people's profiles as well that left the questions and give them a follow, and just let me know what video ideas maybe you want me to do next. I will see you all in my next one. Bye.